All right. Bungie gives us some details on the upcoming world's first raid race, along with a bunch of other news in this week's TWID, formerly known as TWAB. This is totally the first time you've heard me say this information as well, because I definitely did not record this earlier and mess it up. So first up, we have a recap from last week, which we've already covered in a previous video, so you can watch that if you want. And then they have a full preview of everything they're going to talk about this week. So let's dive right into it. First things first, they had to do a recap of the showcase that they did because the audio got screwed up on YouTube. If you were watching on YouTube, I feel bad for you because it was all kinds of scuffed. I don't know how the live stream broadcast got screwed up that much, but it did. And so they had to do a full recap, and the VOD is there. I've already covered all of this extensively, though, so make sure you look for those videos if you want to stay up to date on all the news in regards to the showcase. A lot of exciting and spicy new things coming out. The quick recap, though, is the Pale Hearts, fresh supers, and exciting new aspects, new enemies, episodes on the road ahead. The reason why they wanted to mention the episodes is because a lot of people thought that episodes were going to be happening post the final shape, but in actuality, the episodes are going to begin with the final shape calendar year. So instead of seasons, you're going to have 3 episodes. Normally we have 4 seasons, now we're going to have 3 episodes, which basically just means that it's going to be a month longer, but it's going to be a little more action-packed and a little bit structured better than it has been in previous seasons. And the story should be a little bit more meaningful and impactful rather than just being some nonsensical seasonal story that has no real meaning on the lore, the deeper meaning in Destiny 2's story. So this is actually a good thing, I think, overall, but let me know your thoughts if you like the idea of episodes and the future of those, or if you like the seasonal model more. I think most of us can agree that the seasonal model has gotten a little bit old and bland. Next up, they have a Guardians for Maui campaign update of how much money they've raised and all the good that they've done over there. If you don't know, Hawaii was absolutely devastated by wildfires, and it's definitely a good thing to raise money for this cause because they could definitely use it. Next up, they have the content creator thing. If you want to be affiliated or work with Bungie in the future, they have a link there. And then they have the rewards that they're going through. We're going to bring a selection of cosmetic items from previous season passes to Eververse for players who missed out on acquiring them. If there's any specifics that you've been missing, make sure to tag the Destiny 2 team in regards to those cosmetics so that way they can bring them out. Next up, they talk about their featured quest section that you may have noticed if you logged into Destiny 2. There's this new featured quest thing. It's basically meant to prioritize the things that are more important for you to take care of and make the game a little more streamlined for you. If you're a new player, you might not see much there. If you're a veteran player, you might see nothing there if you've already done all your quests, etc. But it basically prioritizes everything for you and helps organize the game a little bit better to let you know what you should be doing when you log in and what quests you need to beat. Because a lot of people just get lost when they log into Destiny 2. You spend hours grinding something that doesn't even matter as much as other things could matter, right? Next up, they have Go Strand aspects, where they talk about the 3 new aspects. Banner of War is crazy. I melted the dungeon boss there in one phase, and I'm going to melt some other bosses here today with this new Banner of War aspect. This thing is absolutely nuts for DPS. And then next, we have the Hunter Whirling Maelstrom, which is pretty good as well. We've covered that quite a bit. Turns it into a little Death Roomba. And then we have Weave Walk, which is just absolutely busted. Gives you insane damage resistance. Bungie will probably be adjusting that pretty soon here, so enjoy it while it lasts. And then they're going to talk about the world's first raid race here. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. You'll need to be 1790 power, so keep that in mind. Clearing the raid with contest mode active is the first step to access the challenge mode in the director and the special superior swordplay triumph with the challenges for each encounter. So in order to get world's first, you beat it on the normal mode, and then after you do that, it will unlock the challenge mode, and you'll have to beat it with all the different triumphs. Keep in mind that in doing so, if you do the triumph wrong, it will automatically wipe you, so that way you don't progress that encounter and not actually beat the triumph. And that way, when you do make it to the end, you know that you've crossed the finish line legitimately, and you'll be awarded that world's first raid belt if you do it first, or if not, then you'll be awarded the emblem at the end of it, which will be pretty sweet. To complete the superior swordplay triumph, a fire team must complete the curated list of challenges in the challenge mode and claim the triumph to snag the world's first title and that sweet, sweet belt. After you complete it, you're going to need to go to orbits to enforce the triumph requirements in challenge mode. Your fire team will wipe if you fail to succeed, like we mentioned just now. For Crota's End, we've made some tuning changes to contest mode. So this is a previous video where I covered how difficult Bungie is trying to make this one because Root of Nightmares was so easy. It was literally a cakewalk. Everyone and their grandmother beat that raid in contest mode. Okay, literally full-on granny teams beating that one. So they decided, you know what, let's make it a little more difficult because this is meant to be aspirational content. This is meant to be like tough. You want to get this emblem. You want to feel like you earned something, not like it was given to you or like it was free or easy, right? So they have increased the cap of player outgoing damage versus combatants. So that's going to be pretty crazy. The cap will be there. And so I imagine your weapons might not hit as hard as you would expect. And that would be pretty wild. Keep in mind that the incoming damage cap did not change. So that the enemies are going to be hitting very hard. And some enemies will gain elemental shields. All enemies will be more aggressive than in the previous contest mode. Just making those enemies very, very aggro. Alright, that'll be an interesting one. New emblems, who this? So if you wanted to get some of these emblems, they'll be there for you. If you participate in these contests, you have Destiny 2 Movie of the Week emblem here. And then you have Destiny 2 Artist of the Week emblem here. And then lastly, you have the Fashion emblem here. You can participate in all of these if you want, with the appropriate hashtags. Steam is ending Windows 7 and Windows 8 support. I don't know who out there is still on Windows 7 or Windows 8, but you need to seek help if you're still on Windows 7, Windows 8. It's time to upgrade. I think it's literally free to upgrade to Windows 10, so what are you doing? Even if your PC, I don't know what your PC you got out there, but it's time to upgrade. Steam is not going to let you play Destiny 2 anymore unless you upgrade to at least Windows 10. Loadouts disabled. They have not given us a timeline as to when loadouts are going to come back in Destiny 2, but hopefully it's before Crota's End. I mean, come on, Bungie, you got to fix these loadouts. What are we doing here? Finisher changes. There's doing an entire work over to changes of finishers, rather, and the reason why they're doing it is because you can, it says right here, players who would like to use only specific finishers in gameplay can store their finishers in their Flare collections. To obtain them again or obtain other finishers, players can reacquire them in their collections under Flare finishers. And so if you've noticed, if you've been using your finisher and it's different than what you had on before, it's probably because of that small change, but you can go change it in your settings. And then they have a list of known issues here. I mean, this is a Christmas list. The description for Weavewalk fails to mention that players must have at least one full melee charge available. The Unveiled quest can't be completed if a player listens to the new lore in Veil Containment before acquiring the quest from Nimbus. Whew, that sucks. Make sure you don't do that. That is really unfortunate. The Veterans Flare Transmit effect is missing from player accounts. The Origin Perk Specialization 2 is not overcharging Season 22 weapons. Jeesh. The Deck of Whispers Ascension 8 card scorches players abnormally fast. These are some crazy bugs. There's a whole list of bugs here. And make sure you see yours posted there. If not, make sure to tag at Destiny 2 team and let them know. Because we want to get those bugs fixed, of course. Every new season comes with a ton of new bugs. And then we have the Movie of the Week. We have the Artist of the Week. Very nice. And that's a wrap for this week's TWID. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Will you be competing in the Day 1 raid race for Crota's End? There's a bunch of leaks that recently came out. I'm not going to cover them in this video, but if you're looking for that, that video will be live later today, so be prepared. The leaks are pretty crazy this time around. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.